Yes, another very warm welcome back as we take in some racing highlights from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's Round 3 event at Bank Farm Drumclog in South Lanarkshire. And this was, of course, in 2017. So we're going to kick things straight off with the pre-1975 up to 300cc class. And as the riders leave the line to begin lap 1, it looks like a good start there by Tommy Anderson in the yellow there on the 250 Husqvarna. Looks like Darrell Wiley is in second position on the 4-stroke 250 Honda. Ian Robertson just making his way through there, number 100, riding the little Can-Am machine. But it's an early lead now for Tommy Anderson. Second is still Darrell Wiley. Derek McCauley is now moved up into third position on the 250 Bultaco Persei. Now, as you can see, the weather pretty good here for an early spring race event, but it did have an absolutely howling wind here at Drumclog, and it was quite hard just to try and keep the camera steady to film these guys on their bikes. Number 100 again, Ian Robertson on the Can-Am machine. But the weather absolutely superb at the moment, and apart from the howling wind that we just mentioned, but we're looking at the battle for second and third. Number 22 is Darrell Wiley, but here is your race leader. Number 3, Tommy Anderson. Number 29 is Derek McCauley in second position on the very quick 250 Bultaco Persei. But it's still Tommy Anderson, your race leader. I think that's a 1975 250 Husqvarna that Tommy's riding. But Derek McCauley giving him a good race on that Spanish Bultaco. Number 22 is Darrell Wiley. Number 100 again is Ian Robertson from Blairgowrie in Clackmannan. Some of the other riders making their way through. Number 118 is Kenny Harper on one of his lovely Bultaco bikes. Number 109 there, that's one of the lady riders with the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. That's Sarah Louise Nelson, one of 2 lady riders we have here at the Scottish Club. But it looks like Derek McCauley is now your new race leader on the Bultaco. Tommy Anderson has been demoted temporarily down to second position, but this has been a good little scrap between these 2 riders. Derek McCauley, of course, from Arbroath on the northeast coast of Scotland, and Tommy Anderson, number 3 there in the yellow on the 250 Husqvarna. As we look at Ian Robertson once again, just going through on his Can-Am machine and just coming towards us. I think that's number 36. I think that's David Wiley on the 250 Honda 4-stroke bike. David's son Darrell is also racing in this race. But as we look at our race leader as he comes round to take the checkered flag, it looks like it's going to be a win for Derek McCauley, number 29 on the 250 Bultaco, and it looks like Tommy Anderson is going to finish in second position. Okay, we're moving on to our second race of the day. This is the pre-1968 class. And as they leave the line, it looks like a good start by Dougie Meek riding that BSA, that Rickman BSA. And just behind Dougie is Peter Dobinson on the Rickman Triumph Twin. And in third place there is Andrew King on the 250 HIS Stormer. So as they come towards us on lap 1, it's number 46 Dougie Meek, your race leader. Number 41 Peter Dobinson is second. Andrew King is third. As we look at some of the other riders going through, number 73 is Tom Forsyth. but it's Dougie Meek who has the early lead in this race. Andrew King has now moved up into second position. Number 164 there is Stuart Riddle on that lovely 1964 twin port CZ machine. So as the racers come round to complete lap 1, it's Dougie Meek, your race leader. Second is Andrew King on the 250 HIS Stormer machine. Looks like Andrew's looking to make a move there on Dougie Meek for the lead of this pre-1968 class race, and it is indeed Andrew King, your race leader. That's his dad there, just looking on, make sure he's doing everything absolutely right. But it's still Andrew King, your race leader. Dougie Meek second. Number 41 going through there is Peter Dobinson. Number 51 there is Ian Ridley on his BSA. Number 40 is Colin Flockhart, who's having a little dice there with Brian Aird, number 71. Two lovely old BSA bikes. That number 40 bike of Colin Flockhart's is a lovely Shenny BSA machine. A beautiful looking old classic bike. And so as these two dice it out in this pre-1968 class race, we're just going to pick up our race leader again, which is Andrew King on the HIS Stormer. Dougie Meek is still in second position there, but he's being hounded here by Peter Dobinson, number 41, on that beautiful Rickman Triumph. A lovely sounding bike this when it flies past you. So we're staying with this battle for second position between number 45 Dougie Meek on the Rickman BSA versus Peter Dobinson there, number 41 on the Rickman Triumph twin machine. Two quite quick riders in this pre-68 class. Number 71 is Brian Aird. Number 51 there is Ian Ridley on his BSA. Colin Flockhart going through again, number 40. But here's your race leader as he comes round to complete another lap. It's Andrew King on the HIS Stormer. Now there will be 4 laps for these old classic bikes. Some would say that that's more than enough, but Andrew King is now starting his last and final lap of this pre-1968 class race. Dougie Meek is still in second position. Peter Dobinson is still keeping a watching brief there in third position. As we look at Stuart Riddle once again on the twin port CZ bike. As we look at number 40 once again, that's Colin Flockhart on one of those Eric Shaney BSA machines. Just behind him is Ian Ridley, number 51, on another BSA bike, a lovely looking machine, this bike of Ian Ridley's. And we actually may take a look at this closer up in a future video here on my video channel. So we're looking at number 164, that's Stuart Riddle, who's just in front of Brian Aird there, number 71, also riding a BSA bike. So here's your race leader as he comes round to take the checkered flag in this first pre-1968 class race of the day. It's a win for number 293, Andrew King on the HIS Stormer. Dougie Meek is going to finish in second, with Peter Dobinson, number 41, in third. Okay, we're straight into the pre-1975 over 300cc class. As you can see, not a big field of riders for this class, but this is just a local Scottish Classic race meeting, so it's not a big field of riders, but nevertheless the racing is still quite good. So as these pre-75 guys start their first lap, it looks like an early lead by Les Calderwood there, number 50, on the Joe Maxwell Engineering 1974 CCM bike. But it looks like Archie Baird is now your new race leader on the CZ 380 bike. Derek Falls is in there in third position. Derek's riding that 360 Bull Taco machine, but Derek looks like he's moved up into second position, so it's Archie Baird, your race leader. Second is Derek Falls, third is Leslie Calderwood, number 50, and number 1 is John Fleming. And so as they begin at lap 2, it's still Archie Baird, your race leader, a local man from this area. So it's Archie Baird, your race leader. Second is Derek Falls on the Bull Taco, but Derek looks like he's going to go down the inside there and take the lead of this race. But Archie Baird just takes that position back, but a nice little scrap between these two riders. But it looks like it's still Archie Baird, number 180, who is your current race leader. And having said that, Derek has now put his Bull Taco at the front of this pre-1975 class race. So it's Archie Baird now in second position, Leslie Calderwood in third, John Fleming is in fourth. And as you can see, Derek Falls is very quick on this 360 Spanish Bull Taco machine. A very quick bike this, and Derek of course quite a skilled rider. But the track conditions here at Drumclog and Bank Farm couldn't be better. Maybe a bit too dry, but nevertheless we're grateful for that. But there was a big howling wind blowing across the track this day, but nevertheless we can cope with that. So as our race leader comes round to complete another lap, it's Derek Falls, number 24 on the 360 Bull Taco machine, who is your race leader. Second place should be number 180, Archie Baird. It was Les Calderwood in third position last time round, and Les is still in there in third spot. John Fleming is in fourth as these riders begin their last and final lap of this race. Remember, only 4 laps for these old classic bikes. And when I did race myself way back in the day, I always thought that 4 laps was 1 lap too many, but nevertheless, you've got to make allowances for the older riders and these older classic bikes. So as we look towards our race leader heading towards his checkered flag and his first win of the day, it looks like Derek Falls is going to take the win in this race, with Archie Baird in second place, as we look at the battle for third and fourth spots between Les Calderwood and John Fleming. So it looks like it's going to be the first win of the day for this man here, number 24, Derek Falls on the 360 Bull Taco Pursang. So it's a win for number 24 Derek Falls, with Archie Baird, number 180, in second position. As we look at our lovely Alison there, one of the club members, helping out as we go into the pre-1984 class, or the Twin Shock class as it used to be known. It looks like we're all good to go as we leave the line. It's a good start there by Graham Smith on the Suzuki. I think number 115 made a good start as well. Jim Grieve on the S1 Myco only machine. And as they make the turn, it is in fact number 115. It's Jim Grieve, your race leader. It looks like Graham Smith is in second position there on the Suzuki. So it's Jim Grieve who's made a good start in this first pre-1984 class race. Looks like Chris Cannon is your third placed rider. David Loudon is in there in fourth. So as these guys come round to complete their first lap, it's still number 115, Jim Grieve, who leads Graham Smith number 233, who's riding that, I think it's an RM 400 Suzuki that Graham's riding here, but it's still Jim Grieve, your race leader, on lap 1 on that S1 490 Michael only. Third is David Loudon just going through there on the YZ465 Yamaha. Robert Kennedy is out there in his big 560 CCM bike. Number 27 is Mike Doby, and number 34 is Alistair Aitken. So we're looking at, once again, our race leader, number 115, Jim Grieve, who leads Graham Smith in second position. So there's your race leader, number 233. Ooh, looks like Graham Smith took a bit of a tumble there on his RM Suzuki, but it looks like he's okay and back on the bike. Number 151 going through there, that's John Stokes riding that 1983 Michael Spider, the 490 Spider. As we pick up our race leader once again, number 115, Jim Grieve. A very quick rider on one of these Michael only machines. So it's another lap completed for Jim Grieve. Just coming through there is Robert Kennedy Jr. on his 560 CCM. John Stokes just going through there ahead of Steve Moore on his Michael. Number 217 going through is Peter Maxwell. So it's still number 115, Jim Grieve, who is your race leader. And unfortunately this track here at Bank Farm is another one of those old classic racetracks that's no longer in use, as the environmentalists moved in and decided to plant trees on this lovely racetrack. So make of that what you will. But we're looking at David Loudon just going through there on his YZ Yamaha, but Jim Grieve is absolutely flying around this Bank Farm racetrack and is already coming round to complete another lap on the 490 Michael machine. Second place is now number 75, that's David Loudon on the YZ, I think that's a 465 Yamaha. Absolutely great bikes, these 465s. Robert Kennedy Jr. just going past on his 560 CCM bike. Another good rider. Number 34 is Alistair Aitken from Oban, away on the west coast of Scotland. So Alistair's had quite a good drive to get to this track here at Drumclog. So we're looking at our race leader as he heads round on his last and final lap of this first pre-1984 class race of the day. Remember, this particular video is just part 1. We will be showcasing more racing from this event in part 2, so make sure you retune to see that. So here's your race leader on the last 2 or 3 turns before the checkered flag. It's number 115, Jim Grieve. He's rode a superb race and led this race almost from the start gate, so it's a win for Jim Grieve. Just waiting on our second place rider coming through, which is number 75 there. That's David Loudon on the quick Yamaha 465 bike. And coming through in third position is Robert Kennedy Jr. on that 560 Alan Clues CCM bike. So that brings us quite nicely to the second race for the pre-1975s up to 300cc class. Now remember, the last race was won by Derek McCauley on the right hand side there, number 29. He had a good scrap with Tommy Anderson in the yellow there, number 3 on the Husqvarna, but as they get ready to leave the line. It's another good start by Tommy Anderson. Darryl Wiley's made a good start there in second position, but as they head to the far side of the track, it's Tommy Anderson, your race leader on the 250 Husqvarna, who leads Derek McCauley on the 250 Bultaco machine. Third position is Ian Robertson, number 100 on the Can-Am. But despite the howling wind across the racetrack, it's still a lovely spring day here in South Lanarkshire in Scotland for this kind of classic racing. So as they come round to complete lap 1, it's number 3 Tommy Anderson, your race leader. Second, number 29, is Derek McCauley, as these two go side by side across the hill. But it looks like Derek McCauley has now edged that lead. So Tommy Anderson is now down to second position on the Husqvarna machine. Two very light and nimble two-stroke bikes these. It just shows you how quick these little machines were way back in the day. But it's still Tommy Anderson with the slight advantage over Derek McCauley. And even though these two machines are only 250s, they are still quite rapid getting around this Bank Farm racetrack. So it's Tommy Anderson, your race leader. Second is still Derek McCauley on the Spanish Bultaco Pursang 250 bike. Third position is still Ian Robertson. And we are looking at one of the day members of the club who wasn't actually listed in the racing programme. Number 109 going through there. That's one of the lady riders once again. That's Sarah Louise Nelson. But it's still Tommy Anderson, number 3, who has the advantage over Derek McCauley in second position as they start their last and final lap. So it's Derek McCauley, number 29 there in second position. Remember, Derek won this first race, so he'll be looking to try and double his race tally, but Tommy Anderson is looking good for the win in the second pre-1975 class race. So it's still Derek McCauley there in second position, as we take another look at Sarah Louise Nelson as she crosses the line to complete another racing lap. As I mentioned, just one of two lady riders that race at the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. But here is your race leader as he comes round to take the checkered flag. So it's going to be a win for Tommy Anderson, number 3 on the 250 Husqvarna. This has been quite a good ride by Tommy in this race, so it's a bit of revenge from race 1 when he finished in second. So it's a win for Tommy Anderson with Derek McCauley in second. Okay, we're back to our second pre-1968 class race of the day, as the riders make their way through to begin at lap 1. So it looks like it's Andrew King, your race leader once again, and it looks like Peter Dobinson and Dougie Meek are starting to have another scrap, as they did of course in the first pre-68 class race. But here is your race leader as he crosses the line for the first time. It's Andrew King on the HIS Stormer machine. Number 40 is Colin Flockhart on the Shenny BSA with Tom Forsyth close behind. And so it's still at number 293 here, Andrew King on the HIS Stormer machine. I think this bike actually belongs to Charlie Robertson, and Charlie of course kindly lets Andrew give it a blast from time to time. Number 71 is Brian Aird on the BSA Victor. So here is your race leader coming round to cross the line. It's number 293, Andrew King. These HIS Stormers, of course, were very light and very quick bikes back in their day. As we look at the battle for second and third between Dougie Meek and number 41, that's Peter Dobinson on the Rickman Triumph Twin. Number 72 is Cliff Hardesty. Number 51 is Ian Ridley. And as I mentioned, we will take a look at this bike closer up in a later video here on my YouTube channel. So we're looking at the battle for second and third. It's number 45, Dougie Meek on the BSA, the Rickman BSA, who leads Peter Dobinson there, number 41, on the Triumph Rickman machine. A lovely sounding bike this when it blasts past you at full speed. But you may remember these two riders had a good scrap in the first race in this class, and it looks like it's much the same again in this particular race, but it's still Dougie Meek, number 45, with the advantage over Peter Dobinson, number 41, on the Rickman Triumph Twin. So it's Dougie Meek, number 45, just coming round to complete another lap. Here is your race leader as he heads round on his last and final lap of this race. Very quick little machine, this HIS Stormer of Andrew King's. But Dougie Meek and Peter Dobinson are still going at it there for the second and third place positions as they begin their last and final lap. So as they cross the line, it looks like it's going to be a win for Andrew King, with Dougie Meek in second, and it looks like Peter Dobinson is going to take that third place position. And we're just looking at number 164, that's Stuart Riddle on his twin port CZ as he comes up to take the checkered flag. So that brings us on to the second race of the pre-1975 over 300cc class. Looks like it's another good start by number 180 there, Archie Baird. Remember, Archie Baird won the first race in this class earlier on. Looks like he's made another cracking start on his 380 CZ bike. Number 24 is Derek Falls, just trying to dive down the inside of Archie Baird, but nevertheless Archie Baird's managed to keep that lead. So it's Derek Falls on the 360 Bultaco who is in second position. John Fleming there is in third, with Leslie Calderwood in fourth. So as the riders come round to complete lap one, it's still number 180. Archie Baird leads Derek McCauley, number 24, on the 360 Bultaco. This is a far cry from Archie Baird's daytime job as a deep sea diver in the oil industry. So quite a contrast from deep sea diving to racing these classic bikes. But nevertheless, as you can see, Archie's quite handy on an old twin shock machine, still leading this race in first position. Derek Falls in second, John Fleming in third. And once again, only 4 laps of this racetrack for these old classic bikes. I think it's only the pre-1984 class that has a couple of laps more than these guys, but as they come up to cross the line to complete another lap, it's still Archie Baird, number 180 on the CZ machine, leads Derek Falls, number 24, on the 360 Bultaco. John Fleming there, number 1, is also riding a 380 machine, as these riders all cross the line to complete another racing lap. But it's still number 180 Archie Baird, the local rider, who is your race leader. And Archie Baird, of course, is quite a good motorcycle engineer as well. He does frame modifications and engine rebuilds, etc. So classic racing keeps Archie busy, and when he's not at the bottom of the North Sea, thousands of feet below. But this is a good race between these three riders. It's still Archie Baird, number 180, your race leader. Second is still Derek Faulds, with John Fleming in third position. So as Archie Baird comes round to begin his last and final lap, this has been another good race by Archie Baird. Derek Faulds, is in second position still on the 360 Bill Tackle. John Fleming there, number 1. Looks like John Fleming's trying to make a move on Derek Faulds there. Number 50 is Les Calderwood, riding that 1974 CCM bike that was built by Joe Maxwell Engineering. But this has been another good race by Archie Baird here, number 180. Remember, Archie won the first race in this class earlier on, and it looks like he's heading towards his second win of the day as he comes round to complete his last and final lap. John Fleming looks like he's now going to finish in second place, but it is a win for Archie Baird, with John Fleming in second position. Okay, we'll move on to the last and final race for this part 1 video from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's event here at Drumclog. And this again is the pre-1984 class for the second race of the day, and as they leave the line, it looks like our early race leader is number 151. That's John Stokes, riding that 1983 490 Spider Michael. Number 47 is Steve Moore, and number 52 there on the YZ Yamaha, I think that's Bill Porteous. So as John Stokes comes round to complete lap 1, you may remember we showcased one of these 1983 490 Michael Spiders in a recent video on my channel. Still very quick bikes, but they had their problems earlier on, but they were still quick bikes once you got them all sorted out. Number 27 there is Mike Dory, number 34 is Alistair Aitken, and number 277 is Rob Wheldon, and number 53 of course is Bill Brown. So it's still number 151, John Stokes, your race leader on the 490 Michael Spider. Number 47 just going through is Steve Moore. Number 81 is Chris Cannon. Chris loves his Suzuki bikes, and as you can see is pretty quick on one of these Japanese machines as well. I think that's a 400 that Chris is riding today. Just behind Chris is Steve Moore, but here's your race leader once again, John Stokes, number 151. Looks like John's got quite a substantial lead on the second place rider, which is Graham Smith, just coming through, and he's been challenged by David Loudon there on the 465 Yamaha. I think David Loudon's just taken that second place position as we watch the rest of the chasing pack making their way up the small jump. And as you can see, the weather's still superb here at Bank Farm in Drumclog, maybe slightly on the cold side with that biting wind that was blowing across the racetrack, but nevertheless still a superb spring day here in Scotland. So we're looking at Graham Smith on the Suzuki, being followed by Chris Cannon, who is also riding a Suzuki. Graham just coming round to complete another lap, so he's just ahead of Chris Cannon. Number 81 there, Chris Cannon. So as the riders come round to complete another lap, number 233 is Graham Smith, 81. Just passing is Chris Cannon. Coming towards us is Steve Moore, number 47. Robert Kennedy Jr. there, number 54 on the 560cc M bike. We're looking at Jim Grieve. I don't think Jim made a good start in this race, but I think Jim's quite well down the pack in this race. So as the riders start their last and final lap of this pre-1984 class race, here's your race leader as he comes round to take the checkered flag. It's going to be a win for number 151, John Stokes, on that very quick 1983 490 Michael Spider. So I hope you enjoyed the racing highlights from this part 1 video from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's event here at Drumclog, and I do hope you'll all retune to Classic Dirt Bike TV to take a look at part 2.